Welcome, Green viewers, to yet another episode of The Green Show. This is your premier environmental show that takes a closer look and raises topical questions about the environment. Here on the show, we invite experts who help us understand some of the most critical subjects about the environment. I'm joined by Kunda Ingwena, as always, the Green Captain. Hashtag Go Green.
Yes, indeed. Hashtag Go Green. Thank you so much, Talent. So we also have the agriculture segment where we will talk about organic fertilizers as well as organic feeds as we drive towards organic farming. And we are also going to be talking about tree planting as we build up towards the National Tree Planting Day that will happen on the 3rd of December 2022 in Makoni, Manicaland Province. So right about now, we get straight into the agriculture segment. Hashtag Go Green.
And in the agricultural segment, we are joined by Anesu, an organic farming expert from Usena Solutions. We'll get Anesu to introduce himself. And Anesu, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you for welcoming me.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Anesu, as you said, Anesu Joseph Marova, and I'm the director and the founder of Usena Solutions, which is unique, sustainable in ethics in agricultural solutions. And I'm also the founder of another company called Agro Organic, for organic again.
Okay.
Called, yes. So we are basically into agriculture, and our main we focus on organic farming, permaculture. We also focus on things like young stock like poultry, rabbits, and also goats.
Perfect. And so let's get straight into it. So can you explain to us what is organic farming, and are there any principles that are related to this type of farming?
Yes, so in organic farming, we cannot talk of organic farming when we don't talk things like sustainability. We don't talk of organic farming when we talk of things like ecology, even the human beings, even the healthy. So for a certain thing, or if a farmer is to say he or she is doing organic farming, we are doing away with synthetic fertilizers. We are doing away with the use of anything that is synthetic, anything that is not
chemical related.
Yes. So when we on the principles of organic farming, we have generally 4 principles. The first principle is the principle of healthy. On healthy, we are not talking only the health of the people, but we also talk of the health of the soil. Is our soil healthy? Are we not applying chemicals that are affecting our soils? So if you are applying anything that is harmful to your soil, then you have cancelled the principle of organic farming. And also we are talking of the principle of, even on the principle of healthy to our animals. Are we not affecting the health of our animals, the ecosystem? So that's the principle of health. We need to understand the principle of healthy. We also have the principle of ecology. Ecology is the principle that we need to understand. It includes the ecosystem, the sustainability of the ecosystem. It includes recycling. Are we recycling matter? Are we in a position to make nature take on itself? So we should learn from nature and then take nature into agriculture. For example, we're talking of vermicomposting. That is, we are taking the nature and breeding it into farming. So yes, that's the principle number 2. And then we have the principle of fairness. The principle of fairness, we are saying, is there a fairness in the balance? So it's about the balancing of the things that we have. So we should be able to balance everything that we do. The last principle, we have the principle of care. The principle of care, we are talking that we need to make sure that we care for everything that we have for the present and the future generation. Because most farmers, we do farming for the purpose of making profit. But remember, it's not all. We have to make sure that we care for the soil, the animals, and for the future benefit of of our future users. Yes, so those are the principles that we need to understand in organic farming.
Oh, that's critical.
Okay, this is excellent. So moving on now, we are excited because we are actually making this discussion with a youthful person as we continue to celebrate the Africa Youth Month, the month of November. And the aims the theme, it seeks to make sure that the youths are pushed towards participation when it comes to policy and all things. And they are pushed by making sure that we break barriers. And this show, The Green Show, it's actually breaking barriers. So, honestly, we are excited to have you. But then, moving on now, what are the benefits of organic farming?
You know, the benefits of organic farming, they are infinite. Okay. But I'll try to categorize them in certain groups. Like we have the benefit to the soil, we have the benefit to the plants, we have the benefit to the animals, the benefit to the farmer, and the benefit to the environment. Okay. So basically, on the first benefit to the soil, we are saying on most organic fertilizers, what they do to the soil is, you know, 70% of the Zimbabwean soils are sandy soils. So basically, we are saying there is a high leaching nutrient. Okay, let me try to illustrate this in a simple way. Like, you know, magnets. When you take magnets and positive and positive, they repel. So that's the same thing that happens to our soils. Sandy soils, they have a positive charge, and most of our nutrients that we apply have also a positive charge. Okay. So that means most nutrients, they repel and then they don't attach to the soil. Okay. So that means if we use the organic fertilizers, they have a negative charge, which makes them the ability to maintain or to hold the nutrients. So if a farmer is using organic nutrients for a long time, that farmer is able to harness all the nutrients. Okay, for most of the synthetic fertilizers, we are saying we are applying only 3 components. Mainly that is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. But are those all the nutrients that we need? Then we say no. We also need molybdenum, we need the zinc, you name it. So with vermicompost or any other organic fertilizers, we are saying all those elements, they are available for the plant. Then the plant is capable of absorbing them in the right quantities. Okay. You know, these plants, they don't need 34% nitrogen. It's too much for them. Most of them is volatile, others it leach. But with organic fertilizers, we are saying the plant, it takes what it needs. Okay. So we are saying we are giving our plants a good environment for them to survive. So we are making our soil structure, our soil is going to be good even for the future generations. You know, for the past years, you'd realize that the amount of fertilizer that we were using maybe for the past 10 years, you need to increase for you to get the same yield that you got 10 years ago. But with the organic fertilizers, as you enrich your soils, your yields are going to increase over and over again. Okay. And then we go to the plant. I always say to farmers, do you know that kind of plant, that kind of pest that we call 4-armyworm? Yes. 4-armyworm, it likes tender leaves, right? Yes. But the most tender leaves are there when the plant is still young. Yes. But normally 4-armyworm, it attacks our plants at about 3 weeks. Yes. So which one is the most tender part? Below 3 weeks. Below 3 weeks, yes. But why after 3 weeks? It's because normally when plants will reach about 3 weeks when it's maize, they start transporting the sugar bricks content or most of the nutrients to make the seed, to make the fruit that we need. Okay. So which means the leaves have like low nutrient value because all the nutrients are now being transferred to the fruit production. But because our base, we don't have enough nutrients to support the plant. So if something, we in plants we say the weakest plant is the one that is attacked by pests and diseases. So our plants are going to be weak because we have supplied with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. There is an imbalance of nutrients. So the seed itself, when we plant the seed itself, it contains all the nutrients, so that when we plant for the first 3 weeks, the plant is capable of sustaining itself because of the nutrients that are available. Okay. So as it grows now, because the soil is the imbalance of nutrients. But with organic farming, we are saying the soil, we are balancing what we have. So the plant, it is capable of maintaining itself from maybe being attacked by pests, being attacked by diseases, and even from the conditions of weather. Yes. Yes, and even uptake of nutrients.
That's a very detailed explanation there, Anesu. So can you explain to us, many people out there are saying organic farming is quite laborious. There's a lot of labor involved. Can you explain to us its applicability, to animals and to plants?
Yes, every coin has two sides. Mm-hmm. And we can't say organic farming is well of advantages only. Mm-hmm. There are some disadvantages that we can get. I cannot say disadvantages, but hindrances or barriers that maybe some farmers might. So number one, yes, it's laborious because there is too much. When you want to use synthetic fertilizer, just go to the shops, come and apply. Yes. But with organic farming now, you have to apply these kind of principles. You have to recycle. You have, a lot of principles that you need to do it. So yes, it becomes a little bit laborious, but it can be applied even on commercial scales. Because, for example, with vermicomposting, we are saying with a space of 10 square meters, you are capable of farming about 10 hectares of maize. Okay. So it's applicable, and it can be done. And then also, the other negative factor is it needs technical skills when you need to go into 100% organic. Yes. Because when you face a challenge, you need to know how to
address it.
Yes, because of the impact or because of the knowledge that you need. So it needs a technical person in order to do organic farming. And yes, that's the negativity.
The low side of it.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Okay, so the drive out there is that the use of organic fertilizers or organic feeds entails one to be able to make them themselves. Tell us more about making this vermicompost you mentioned when you were talking, responding to the previous question.
Okay, so with vermicomposting, we are saying vermis, it's a Latin word that means worm, and composting, normally people, that is the decomposition of matter. So we are saying, I normally give an example that if we take grass and we put grass we plant our maize and then we put grass, our crops are not going to have any growth in terms of that. But if we take the same grass and we feed to our cattle, that dung, when it comes out, it becomes like nutritious
to the plants.
But is it the grass or is it the cattle?
It's the process.
It's the process that is happening. So the nutrients are there in the grass, but it needs an activator.
Yes.
So with the worms, they can activate nutrients 7 times more than what cattle can do.
Okay.
So in that process, we are saying a farmer who is applying 10 tons of cattle manure, you can apply 1 ton of vermicompost.
Okay.
If you have those 10 tons, you can now be able to plant 10 hectares. All you need is the worm. A kg of earthworms can be able to degrade about a ton of degradable matter in a period of 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
So the worms, and by then they can multiply themselves. It is said a one worm can multiply up to 1 million worms in a year.
Okay.
So they have a good reproductive system, and then they multiply so fast. So the matter is decomposed at a faster rate.
Okay.
We also talk of things like you said on animal feeds. So these worms, yes, they can also be fed to our animals. They have about we're talking of 51% crude protein. Okay. Which is most of our feeds, they contain about 20% crude protein. In the soya beans, it contains 42% crude protein. Yes. And we also do feed for feed. We also do maggot farming, which is the keeping of flies. Yes, we keep flies, and we produce those maggots.
The maggots.
They as
for poultry and
even fish.
Production.
We can talk of even cattle.
Yes.
Every animal, because it contains about 47 to 50% crude protein.
Yes.
Which is we are comparing to soya, which is containing about 42% crude protein.
Okay.
And with a kg of, when you start with a kg of seed of the fly, you can be able to average about 150 kgs. We're talking of a period of space of 50 days max.
Okay.
So you can be able to make more in a short space and then a short space of time again.
Wow. I know, Anesu, you need a workshop, to conduct a workshop to explain to us how this process works. You've got a pail here with some, degradable potato peels in there, and what else is in there?
Okay, so
can you explain to us how this works?
Okay, so this is my bin.
Okay.
In fact, I mean my kitchen bin.
Okay.
So I don't have to throw, like, if every household have this, we are saying we do away with the pulmonary issues and the stuff. We need to throw our litter. So this is my bin. As you can see, I have some potato peels. I have some, these are...
Cucumber peels.
Yes, cucumber peels. I also have some watermelons. I also have some banana peels. So I put everything that I do in my kitchen in here.
Okay.
And the magic is on the worms.
You put in the worms?
Yes.
Okay.
The worms are the ones that degrades this matter. This is not soil. It's the worm casting.
Okay.
They eat everything and it becomes that casting, which is very humus and very nutritious.
Wow, that's important. There you have it, green viewers. This was Anesu from Usena Solutions explaining to us the dynamics around organic farming and recommending organic farming as opposed to our usual fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. Kundai?
But one thing before you go, we have heard that most of these organic fertilizers, they don't have the component of basal. How have you tried to address it from Usena Solutions?
Yes, so with vermicomposting, we are saying you have both basal and top dressing. So the vermi-basal part is the first application that you need to use. And normally when on a general recommendation of vermi-basal, we are saying when you are recommended to plant about maybe 400 kgs per hectare of compound D, with vermicompost you can apply that is 2 to 3 times of what you are recommended. So that is 800 kgs per hectare. So it is applicable. And then we also have a seed dressing that when you plant your seed, like with the rhizobium bacteria, what you do with soybeans, we put in the rhizobium bacteria. So we have that inoculant that helps the rooting system of our plants to have a good rooting structure. And then we also have the top dressing as the vermifolia, which we apply into the leaf. So it contains all the basal and the top dressing fertilizers.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, so indeed it was an exciting segment. Thank you so much, Anesu, for joining us. And thank you so much to the viewers. I'm sure one thing that we indeed as farmers we need to address is to make sure that when we introduce the waste from our domestic use, we have to introduce the catalyst. The catalysts are the worms. So it's the waste and the worms, and we do have the organic fertilizers and the organic feed. Let's go green.